Jake stood on stage, trophy in hand, crowd chanting his name. I watched from the shadows, heart pounding, fists clenched. They didn't know what he'd done to Emma or me. I told the truth, and our parents kicked me out. That was 2 months ago. Now more girls are speaking up. And tonight, they'll hear us whether they want to or not. Jake used to call me little punk and shove me into walls when no one looked. Emma would show up with bruises, claiming she fell. Mom said not to start drama. Dad said boys will be boys. I kept a journal, logging every incident. Rebecca, Emma's sister, read it one night by accident. Her eyes widened. She whispered, "We need to talk." That was the first time someone actually believed me. Emma and I sat behind the bleachers once, her lips split, fingers trembling. "He said if I talk, no one will believe me," she whispered. I gave her my phone and said, "Record him." She stared at me like I handed her a weapon. That night, she caught a voicemail, Jake threatening her. When I played it for Mom, she slapped the phone from my hand. "You're tearing this family apart," she screamed. Emma's voicemail leaked online after someone posted it anonymously. Suddenly, people whispered in hallways. Jake brushed it off, said it was fake. The school principal called me in, voice tight, asking if I had anything to do with it. "Why would I ruin my brother?" I shot back. That night, Jake trashed my bike. Dad watched from the porch and said nothing. Rebecca texted, "We need backup." She had a plan, and for the first time, I felt a flicker of hope. Rebecca arranged a meeting with Marcus Coleman, a civil rights attorney who's handled school abuse cases before. He listened jaw tight as we recounted everything: Emma's bruises, Jake's voicemail, the journal. "This isn't just abuse," he said. "This is a cover-up." Mrs. Davidson offered her home for interviews. We called it the safe table. Emma cried when she saw other girls show up: Sarah, Megan, Ashley. One by one, stories spilled. Jake wasn't just a monster, he was protected. And now, we had proof. The school sent an email warning about false accusations damaging student reputations. Jake got louder, cockier, still king of the halls. But then Alex Chen, tight-end team loyalist, walked into the safe table. I saw him drug Emma's drink, he said, eyes down. The room froze. Rebecca leaned forward. "Are you willing to testify?" He nodded slowly. That night, Lily, my little sister, knocked on Mrs. Davidson's door. I heard what he did. I want to help. The cracks were spreading. The school board meeting packed with parents, reporters, and students. Marcus presented the evidence. Jake sat smugly, arms crossed. When Emma played the voicemail, gasps echoed. I stood, voice shaking, recounting years of violence, and they knew what I said, staring at my parents. The room exploded, some in shock, others in applause. Jake stood to speak. "This is character assassination," he barked. But no one clapped. After the meeting, I waited outside. Jake stormed up, furious. "You ruined me," he growled. I didn't flinch. Rebecca stepped between us. "Touch him and I'll bury you with discovery files." Jake shoved past her, teeth clenched. That night, our parents packed his bags. "We'll fix this," Dad said. But they didn't look at me. I wasn't their son anymore, just the whistleblower who shattered the illusion. Lily cried in my arms, whispering, "Why did they choose him?" I had no answer. That week, I couch surfed between Mrs. Davidson's and Rebecca's place. Emma's testimony reached the DAR's office. Charges were being discussed. At school, kids avoided me, some out of guilt, some fear. But then Sarah slipped me a note: "Thank you for not giving up." I taped it inside my journal. The real shock is in the full version. Check it out on my channel. Link below.